Welcome, everybody. I am Teresa DeAndrea, Counsel and Secretary to the New York State Athletic Commission. New York State General Business Law, Section 1003, provides that the New York Athletic Commission shall consist of 5 members appointed by the Governor with the advice and consent of the Senate. 3 members are necessary to afford the Athletic Commission an ability to establish a quorum and undertake action. This present meeting of the New York State Athletic Commission is now called to order. I will now call the roll in alphabetical order. Donald Patterson.
Present.
Nididi Massey. Philip E. Steig. The Honorable Edwin Torres.
That's me.
James A. Voswinkle.
Present.
Please have the record reflect that Commissioners Torres and Voswinkle are present in this conference room, with Commissioner Patterson present by video phone, with his location posted and known to the public. A quorum of qualified members is therefore present, enabling transaction of business in accordance with New York State's Open Meetings Law. Now we will have Kim Sumler, the Executive Director of the New York State Athletic Commission, provide a report to the Commissioners.
Thank you, Teresa. I wanted to briefly make note of a very sad incident that we had recently throughout the State Department and the Athletic Commission itself. And I'd like to read a small little paragraph on in fond remembrance of Brendan Fitzgerald. On November 14th of this year, the New York State Athletic Commission, as well as several other state departments, lost a great leader, Brendan Fitzgerald, our Executive Deputy Secretary of State. Brendan cared deeply about the betterment of the people of the state of New York, and he worked tirelessly to develop and implement policies to achieve that goal. He exemplified his belief that the essence of good government was to serve the people with unrelenting passion and insuppressible energy. Brendan strove for excellence in public service, whether it was in his work with the New York State Assembly, during his long tenure in service at the Executive Chamber, or in his leadership position at the Department of State. Brendan inspired us all through his work ethic and his courage, despite the physical challenges that he faced. He brought vigor and enthusiasm to his daily work. He had a sharp wit and a great sense of humor. Brendan was a tremendous leader, mentor, and friend. His passing brings us immense sadness, and he is greatly missed. Moving on to the next agenda item, there are 2 issues that I'd like to bring up, and it's only just letting you guys know of a couple of issues that we're going to be talking about at the in the February meeting, February session. The first one is we've had several of the promoters talking to us and several of the athletes talking to us about non-caffeinated electrolyte drinks such as Gatorade, vitamin water, things like that. They're really interested in consuming those back of house and at ringside. We've started investigating the matter, doing a lot of research on it, looking at other commission's policies on electrolyte drinks and whatnot. And we haven't completed, obviously, our investigation or our findings yet. But the state of Nevada right now does have a defined policy where they do allow fighters to consume non-caffeinated drinks, obviously factory sealed, both at ringside and back of house. So this is, again, something that we're looking at. We do want to talk about it more in the February meeting. I'm sorry. The other topic that we're talking about that we've had a lot of interest in, there are several promoters that are wanting to do studies on velocity and installing tracking chips in MMA gloves and boxing gloves. They're looking at speed, velocity, all of those things that they can track by doing this. We currently don't allow it. It was presented to us last year. It was a topic that we had discussed. We didn't know enough about it at that time. So since then, we've been investigating the matter, looking further into it. And obviously, before we do approve something like that, there's obviously a lot that we need to look at. But, ultimately, we need to look at what can it tell us and can we use that information to better the sport or to make it safer for our athletes. So that's something that we're also going to be presenting to you gentlemen at the next meeting. The Professional Fight League in particular is a company is a promotional company that is interested in having us look at this. They did want I think, a seat at the next commission meeting.
Possibly present on that.
Right, to possibly present on it, although they haven't formally requested, some time in the seat. So we'll let you know when and if that does happen. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, and that's all I have, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course.
So I'd like to bring our attention to the next topic of conversation, which is approval of the No Boxing, No Life boxing gloves in 8 and 10 ounces. Commissioners have before them an evaluation form for the make and model of the glove to be considered today as prepared by staff. The gloves are now being circulated for evaluation by the commissioners. Staff has evaluated the gloves on the basis of weight and construction as mandated by Commission Bulletin 2015-2 and Section 211.9 of Title 19 of the regs. Staff has determined that the No Boxing, No Life gloves listed is in compliance with the standards required by the Commission. So if the Commission has any questions, please direct them to Matthew Delalio. He'll speak a little further about the gloves right now.
Yeah, so what's being passed around is wrist padding that we cut out and we weighed, and also the actual hand padding that's inside the glove. So if you have any further questions, feel free to let me know.
Absolutely. There you go, Judge.
These come all the way from Mexico, hecho en Mexico.
Yes, they did.
So may I have a motion to approve this glove type pursuant to the Commission's rules and regulations? We have a motion made by
Second.
Commissioner Voswickel. It's been seconded by Judge Torres. Any discussion on the motion?
No,
No.
as I said, the gloves are approved in Nevada. They look like your pretty much standard gloves, so I have no objections.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Perfect. So let the record reflect that all 3 commissioners present have approved the gloves. The motion carries and the No Boxing, No Life glove is approved.
Very good.
We have no old business to consider from the September 26, 2018 commission meeting. Do any commissioners have items they'd like to present today for consideration?
No official points.
No.
I just want to bring to light that I think the 2 topics that we're going to discuss in February are very important.
Okay.
Obviously as a physician, electrolyte replacement, dehydration, I think is extremely important. So I think it's great we're taking it up officially as a commission. As well as other sports are really trying to use technology to the betterment of the sport, the safety of the fighters. So I think very timely that, combat sports are addressing these issues, and I look forward to participating in that discussion.
Right. Perfect.
Thank you.
Anything from you, Commissioner Patterson?
No.
Perfect. That concludes today's published agenda. Hearing no other items for consideration, this meeting of the New York State Athletic Commission is now adjourned.